Hello, everybody. Jason Up, New 80s Revolution Cave. What a day. We'll talk about that. But first, cheers in my F glass for Finley, of course. But for the first time in the history of this glass, it's filled up with wine. Can't drink beer much anymore because of the wheat. But why am I having a glass of wine here on a Friday? Well, it doesn't have anything to do with my crazy existence. No, indeed. Has nothing to do with, having sat at a bowling league with my children for the past hour and a half in a jam-packed bowling alley of lunatic screaming children. Has nothing to do with the fact that I had to stop at Burger King to get my children dinner and I have to be asked to donate. Every place I go, why are we suddenly being asked to donate to stuff? Would you like to round up your change? No, I don't want to round up my change for some random charity that... Would you like to round up your change to help kids with education? No, I don't know what that means, and it's not going to help. Why are we asking to tip everywhere, and why are we asking to round up our change? When did this become a thing? It's horribly obnoxious. At the self-checkout at my grocery store, when you check out yourself, by the way, for the same price, I got to pay the same price for the food, but I get to check myself out. It actually asks on the checkout screen, would you like to make a donation? Not to something specific, just would you like to make a donation? That's not the point of the show. That was just got home, told everybody leave me alone for a half hour, I'm going downstairs. On a much brighter note, folks, the channel has reached 4,000 subscribers. Yes, indeed. This morning, how about this? This morning I had 4,000. Liam came downstairs, as all homeschoolers do, at about 9:40. And he said, I said, hey, dude, look, I got 4,000 subscribers. Do you know what he did? He immediately went and unsubscribed from the channel. He's like, no, you don't. And I was at $39.99 until just now. So I was like, dude, I can't make my video if you don't. Well, sorry, I'm not resubscribing. Thank you, child. But somebody else has, and we are now at officially 4,000. It'll probably go down tonight, and then, once I'll feel safe once I get to like 4,005. Then I'm like, all right, we're good. So let's talk about it, man. I think I've been on here 7 years. Maybe. Has it been 7 years? I don't know. I told the story of how it started. I was at a job where I had a ton of free time and an office with a door and a computer, and I would just watch YouTube all day long at work. And for some reason, I got into watching, I wasn't even watching like 80s stuff, and I wasn't watching LJN stuff. For some strange reason, I was watching DVD and Blu-ray collectors. And I found quite a crop of people. And I go back, a couple of the people are cool, my man Cinestalker in California. He's a cool guy. But I started watching this guy called Wet Movie. And I'm sure he's a sweet guy, but he's a walking cringe comp. In fact, I think he is on a few YouTube cringe comps. Then I was watching this guy named Cool Duder, and he's an odd fella too. And I don't know. So that's what I was watching. And I was like, well, I had zero computer knowledge whatsoever. I didn't even have like an iPhone at the time. So I didn't even know how to record videos. I had no idea how to record videos. I knew about an SD card, in a camcorder. I didn't know how to get the video uploaded to the computer. I certainly didn't know how to edit anything. But I wanted to, like show off the collection and stuff. So I made a video, and here's a little, look at this goofball. My smooth talking first video ever. Go ahead and check it out. I still remember the opening line because my children make fun of me and remind me on a regular basis that I said, "Hey YouTube, you don't know me, but I know a lot of you." And that was my opening line on YouTube. "Hey YouTube, you don't know me, but I know a lot of you." And my children continue to make fun of me about that. And then for some reason on the channel, I was doing videos, but I was going to do beer reviews. And I remember like drinking a few beers on the channel and like trying to have something to say about them. And I'm the worst reviewer of anything ever because I don't have anything to say about it, right? So I remember like reviewing beers and trying to sound intelligent and trying to sound like I knew how to review stuff and talking about like, palate and like, stop it, you idiot. You don't know what you're talking about. And I remember talking about a beer that doesn't even exist anymore, but it was a Saranac. It was from Saranac, which is in New York, a New York brewery. It was like a pretzel wheat beer, which just sounds great now, but I can't drink it. And I remember reviewing that beer, and I think I said the word pretzel about 800 times in the review because I didn't know what else to say other than it really tastes a lot like pretzel. So I remember trying to do that for a while. That was a bust. And then I just settled into like the LJN reviews, and that's where I gained some early, popularity with the LJN reviews. Multiple different hair stages of hair, the long, Jerry curled, soaking wet Bret Hart hairstyle that I had. You met Liam on the channel when he was a kid that couldn't talk. Liam had, all kids have, some difficulty talking, but Liam had a very unique, speech issue, whatever it was, I don't know. And, you go back and watch old videos of him and you're like, how do you have any idea what this kid is saying? So you met him at an age where he could barely form a sentence, So Liam kind of grew up on the channel. My 7-year-old, he makes an appearance here and there. He likes to stay private, He's a drummer, so he's in the background of the band. You know how that is. We've done Christmases on the channel. We've done other holidays. I've showed birthday hauls and Christmas hauls, not just of mine, but of my children too. And it's hard, to go back and watch the video of Liam and I when we're doing what were we doing? We were doing, I don't know. He was showing off like his turtle base, his turtle terradrome or whatever, and it's hard to go back and watch that because he was like 6. That was 5 years ago. So it's hard to see him so small and difficult to understand. But he was part of the channel, still is. And then he decided to go off and do his own Liam's Ultimate Games 2, right? So throw him a subscription, folks. Liam's Ultimate Games 2. Let's get him to 4,000 subs too. Liam's Ultimate Games 2, where now he's just turned into a shorts machine. He just makes silly shorts all day. But it's fun to see him do that, because he wouldn't know this existed if he wasn't hanging out with me down here. You've seen we've had co-hosts. We had a fella, I don't know, whoever, join the channel and up the production value and I had a lot of fun, to be honest with you. The co-hosting thing was a lot of fun. It really was. But egos clashed. And I am 50% to blame for that relationship failing, because you have two big-headed people trying to work together and produce something, and both want to be top billing, and both want to be, running the show, and it just didn't work. So, I went solo back to solo again, and we did that. What the heck else have we done here? You've seen me. You've seen as the years go on with the channel, you've seen it get more personal, certainly, and that's just a testament to you guys and your support and your friendship and your genuine concern and care for me. So we've you guys have been a part of illnesses and physical illnesses and mental, just mental collapses and channel hiatuses and channel returns and on again, off again. And, so that's, that's happened on the channel over the last several years. The room has changed so many times in the life of the channel. Go back and watch some early videos. It's a completely different room. We've gone through 2 living room sets. We went through the partner, when I had a co-host, we went through a new set change there. It's taken on a whole new form, and I think it's in its final form, to be honest with you. I think this is as good as it's going to get, and it's pretty good. I do have a bit of a fantasy of getting a sleeper sofa and crashing down here some nights, because I cannot sleep on that couch that's behind me. Oh, that's a Xanax couch. The only way you're going to fall asleep on that couch is with Xanax. Truth. But they do sell some cheaper Walmart version sleeper sofas too, which, maybe down the road, because it would be nice to camp out down here with the TV on, with the Zenith System 3 on, What else have you seen on the channel? What else have you seen? You've seen your donations showcased on a regular basis. Your contributions, your gifts to me will always be showcased, will always be shown off and thanked publicly. Always. In the first package I ever got, all the way down to Stephen Brown's box of VHS tapes the other day, they all carry the same immeasurable value to me. You have seen relationships with brilliant artists. You've seen partnerships with brilliant artists over the years. XOX has changed the LJN collecting game. 4 Left 3D Creations has changed the LJN display game. And, I'm fortunate enough to have wonderful friendship, business relationships with these folks, which has brought wonderful things to you guys as well, whether it's customs or whether it's the stands. Wonderful things have come to you through my relationship with them. And my relationship with them wouldn't have happened without you. Okay. So you guys are responsible for my connection to XOX and 4 Left. Friendships have come from the channel. Legitimate friendships, have come from the channel. People reaching out to me. I remember my main man, Upstate Johnny. I just got a random text one day. Random text. And it's like, hey, is this, the guy from YouTube's New Age Revolution? And I was like, yeah. How'd you get the number? He's like, Google. I was like, oh, yeah, what's up? And we've been chatting ever since. Because I do have I have a business, my own business. And so you can find me on Google, if you really want to. So legitimate friendships have come from my time on the channel. Mental health care, mental health treatment has come from the channel. The channel for me has morphed into something so small that, meant something, but was just, I didn't know anybody and I was just talking at air. But it has grown into a support system that I never thought it would be. For as much as when I get messages from you guys saying, I haven't been feeling good, I just got out of the hospital and you've got a new show, so I'm going to watch it. I'm going for surgery. Can you give me a shout out on your channel? You've gotten me through this. You've gotten me through that. According to some people, the channel's helped them with addiction, right? So for as much as I've heard that from you, I'm repeating that back to you, as this channel, especially lately, has been mental health support for me and will continue to be. This coming down to this room and talking to a camera has taken on a completely different meaning over the last several years. It is now a very two-way street. Apparently I give to you, but factually you give to me. What else? Oh, the new shows. We're always coming up with new shows to do. We've had, Smash Ventura's genius intros and outros to some shows that I was doing. And then I'm like, well, let me do some more. So now we're doing these dailies. Now it's turning into almost kind of a vlog check-in type of channel that still is, rooted in the 80s. We've gained more subscribers in the last 6 months. The pace that we've gained subscribers in the last 6 months is higher than it's ever been. We're averaging about 70 new subscribers a month per 28 days, which is up about 40. We're usually doing about 30 subscribers a month. Now it's up to 70. The channel is monetarily, the channel makes about $75 to $100 a month, which is fine. That's great. I always said that I think the channel should have been bigger. But then I think, well, it's just a niche, it's just an 80s niche. So yeah, there are bigger 80s channels than me, but they do a lot more stuff. They do a ton of stuff. We've done wrestling. I got through this channel, I got to live out some childhood dreams. I got to talk to 2 real professional wrestlers, Magnum TA and Greg Gagne, and do interviews with them here on the channel. Wow. Okay, that's huge. You may not realize how huge that is. That is huge for me to be able to do that. And that happened because, Steve Rosenthal from Power Town Wrestling Figures, did an interview with me. And we had such a good connection that he said, thanks for letting me get out there on the air, even if it was a small market. Thank you. Let me pay you back here and give you these two people. Let me give you Magnum TA and Greg Gagne. And I got to talk to those two guys, man, and that was insane. Especially Magnum TA, because we talked after that shoot interview, and he's like, how many of these have you done? And I said 0, because he was before Greg Gagne. And he's like, you got a good style. I feel comfortable talking to you. And I was like, well, I talk to people for a living, so, it's just different with me. And he's like, yeah, I get that. You're very relaxing and comforting. So that was like blow away, feel good moment for me. I'd love to do more of those. I really would. I'd really love to do more of those. But they're hard to get those connections. Because of this channel, because of your support. When I say because of this channel, I don't mean because of me. I mean because of you. So because of this channel, I've gotten to go, I got invited by Brian Hardy, a person that has been on SmackDown and Raw, a person whose father I grew up watching on WWF Superstars of Wrestling. Brian Hardy invited me to come to Baltimore to MC his show. What an honor. What an honor to even, be invited into that circle. What a cool feeling that is. And that's because of this channel. And by this channel, I mean because of you. Not because of me, because of you. I can sit here and talk to nobody and be nobody unless you watch. Then I'm somebody. Okay? Man, who else can I say? I mean, the folks at the Rushmore show are just great. And, they want me to do more stuff with their show. And I don't have the house for it. I don't have the time, not the time. I do have the time, please, I have plenty of time, but my house is never settled. The kids are always up late. It's so hard for me to commit to something, to come down here and do 2 hours with them. I feel horrible. So I said, I can't do your next show. I want to, and I will again, but I got to meet them. I got to become friends with, Bobby Campbell and his brother. Kickboxing legends, champions. I got invited to go to New York and sit at a VIP table with my children to watch Bobby Campbell fight. It's humbling, everything that I've been able to do through this channel, stuff I never thought I'd do. I got contacted by the Travel Channel years ago because they were going to do a show about collections, and they found me on YouTube and they wanted me to do their show. It never happened. The idea died. But I got called by the Travel Channel to do a collection show because of you guys. You guys watching have allowed me to keep the childhood alive, to keep the childhood memories alive. And that's important to me. So this long-winded rant is simply a extended way for me to say thank you genuinely to all of you who have watched the channel, who have participated, and who have reached out to me as friends. And I cannot ever put a value to that. It's invaluable. It's invaluable. You do more for me than I do for you. Trust me on that. So 4,000 subscribers is here. I wanted that number, but now that I have it, now I'm a little bit obsessed about 5,000 subscribers. Then I'm afraid that once we get 5,000, I'm really going to want 10,000, but I think that's probably a good 6 years away. Unless the channel can blow up somehow, but I don't know how it would, because I'm just going to continue doing what I do. The daily updates, the daily hellos, the little sort of working show list that we have that changes all the time. But to everybody who has, made the channel, and I don't want to list anybody because I'll forget somebody, but to everybody who has participated in the channel, who has left comments, who has reached out to me through email or through text or whatever, to XOX and Four Left, to the Campbell brothers, to the Beefcake, to Upstate Johnny, to McClintock and Feely, or to God, Gary, my man Gary, who is just has left comments on every video since video 1, I think. To I don't know, like I said, to Jackie, to my friend Jackie, who's always leaving sweet comments in the comments. To Lisa E. Normus comment. To everybody. Thank you for caring about this and me. Means a lot. I go on forever, just ramble. I think the wine is starting to get to me. But thank you again. Thanks to my son for unsubscribing today to make 4,000 just a little bit more difficult. I had to wait a few more hours to get to 4,000. Thank you. Thank you, son. Thank you, birth of my loins. Thank you, taker of my money. Thank you. And thank you. Good night now.